My stepmom told me to pay $800 a month to keep living here, then stared like she expected me to thank her. In the house I grew up in, she even offered a deal where I could do more chores to lower the rent. A week later, one phone call proved the deed wasn't hers and she went from smug to terrified. My mom died when I was 8. My grandparents stepped in hard, moved in, and kept our little family from collapsing. They later bought a big 4-bedroom house so we could all live together and my dad could keep working. Looking back, they were also building me a lifeboat. 2 years later, my dad married my stepmom and brought in her 2 kids. At first, it was little digs about the house being dated. Then my mom's decorations started disappearing. Then she began rearranging rooms like she was renovating a museum she'd inherited. The chores were the real takeover. Somehow, everyone helps became I help. By 12, I was cooking, cleaning, and washing everyone's laundry while her son lived in a gaming chair and her daughter treated the living room like a studio. My stepmom would swipe a finger across the baseboards and hold it up like evidence. Do it again, she'd say, like I worked for her. Here's what nobody told me until way too late. Before my grandparents passed, they put the house in my name. Fully legal. My dad knew. My stepmom didn't. So I spent years being a servant in a house I owned. The day she demanded rent, I'd just finished a long shift and still had to make dinner. She parked herself at the kitchen island, eyes locked on my hands. We need to talk about your living situation, she said. Then she said I owed rent, utilities, and I'd still help out around the house. I asked, so your kids are paying too? She dabbed her mouth with a napkin she hadn't used. That's different. They're still getting established. So I called everyone to the table. If she wanted a family meeting, fine. Her son stomped down mid-game. Her daughter sat with her phone ready like popcorn time. My stepmom launched into her speech like she was a landlord. I set my fork down. I'm not paying rent, I said. This house is mine. First, silence. Then they laughed. Next, my stepmom called my dad on speaker. Tell her the house is ours, she snapped. Mi dad pausa then sahil. Actually, her grandparents put it in her name. My stepmom's face drained so fast it was almost funny. She hung up and tried to smile like nothing happened. Misunderstanding, she said. Let's forget this. I smiled back. Oh, we're not forgetting. I think we need to discuss your living situation. The next morning, I overheard her pushing my dad to encourage me to leave for an out-of-state school. Like shipping me away would magically erase a deed. I walked into the kitchen like I hadn't heard a thing and watched her pretend to be sweet. How did my own dad let her talk about me like a problem to remove? At breakfast, I said, you're right. People should pay rent to live here. She lit up. Market rate is about $1,200 each, I added. So that's $3,600 for you and your kids, plus utilities. Deposit too. Her son choked on cereal. Her daughter dropped her phone. My stepmom started yelling, so I played the recording of her send her away call. Her eyes went wide, like she just realized her words had consequences. From there, I stopped negotiating. I hired a lawyer and served eviction papers. My stepmom tried the pity routine, then the rage routine, then the we're family routine. Her son broke a chair in a tantrum. Her daughter tried to spin it online and got roasted by people who remembered me doing all the work. Her last move was trying to grab my mom's old jewelry while I was at work. I'd already installed cameras. I called the police, filed a report, and watched her explain to an officer why she was just moving necklaces into her bag. That was the moment I realized she wasn't just controlling, she was desperate. On move-out day, movers showed up with a court order and packed everything into a storage unit. A deputy did the walkthrough. My stepmom kept trying to argue, but every threat died the second she noticed the cameras. When they finally left, they didn't glide out with dignity. They shuffled out with boxes and excuses. Afterward, the house went quiet in the best way. No more inspections, no more passive-aggressive notes, no more midnight screaming through walls. I turned their rooms into mine and put my mom's things back where they belonged. My dad calls sometimes, and he sounds smaller every time. So tell me, was eviction too harsh, or was it the only language they understood? What would you have done in my place?